have to say this. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Does anybody know why? Anyone? What just? Yes, small groups, but something more important is happening during this season. Anyone? Well, yes, my birthday, that's yes, but it's football season! Yeah! 3 people are like, yeah. Where are all my guys at? Oh, because you're sitting next to your wives, we're like, it's football season. We should be excited. College football season started. Our Aggies beat up on, I don't know, some little college. And you know what? It was awesome because this past Thursday, I got to go watch the Texans. I got to let you know right now, I am a huge Texan fan, all right? I got to go watch the last preseason game versus the Dallas Cowboys. And I got to go with Pablo. And so it was cool. So we need to pray for Pablo because during the whole game, he was crying. He was crying like a little girl. Well, he's a Cowboy fan, so we need to pray for the Cowboy fans. I'm just saying, right? And just to let you know, it was a great game because the Texans won. Yes. Yeah, that's right. Amen. Whoop, whoop. If you're not a Texan fan, we are praying for you. I'm just letting you know. So as I was sitting there, I was watching the game. It was a great game. And yeah, I know it was preseason. Yes, I know it was the last game. But here's the thing. There was people on the field that were fighting for a job. They needed to make a team, whether it be on the Cowboys or the Texans. And here's the thing, as I was watching them, and it was a really good game, I was thinking, you know, if you're trying to make this team, you cannot do it alone. You have to be part of the bigger picture of a team. If you want to make the team, you have to be part of the team. You can't do it alone. And what I mean is this. If you're playing on the offensive side of the ball, all right, you need to block, right, when the defense is coming at you. You need to block your player because if you don't block the player, what happens? He gets through the line and sacks the quarterback like what's happening all night long to Dallas, right? You got to block. You cannot do it alone. You have to do it as a line together. And for the defensive side of the ball, you got to do the same thing. You got to push that line, right? Because you want to stop them from making a play. You want to stop them from making a touchdown. So you cannot do it by yourself. You have to do it as a team. And so I was thinking of that, and I was thinking, that's what happens in our life, doesn't it? I mean, a lot of times I go to people, and I meet them out in the street, and I tell them, oh, I'm a pastor, and they usually go like this, well, you know, that's good for you. But, you know what? I don't need anyone. I can do this all by myself. They say things like, you know what? I don't need to go to church. I'm the church. All I need is Jesus. We'll do this together. I just need Jesus. That's it. I don't need anybody else. But here's the thing. We weren't created to do life alone. In fact, if you think about it in the book of Genesis, we read what Jesus did. It doesn't say that Jesus looked at his angels when he created Adam and decided, you know what? He's good all by himself. He got me. That's all he needs. That's not what he said. He said the opposite, in fact. He said it's not good for Adam to be alone. And so what did he do? He created Eve. And we see things differently. We see what he created. And in fact, it brings us to our bottom line for us today, and it's this, and I want you to know this, is that you were created to connect. You were created to connect. Say it with me. You were created to connect. So today I want to talk about something I'm very passionate about. I want to talk about this thought. I want us to focus on this thought that you were created to connect. In fact, at the end of this message, I'm going to ask you to take a bold step. I'm going to challenge you to take a bold step because we are kicking off small groups. And I'm excited about small groups because small groups is the thing to do. It's the place you want to be at because when you join a small group, you tend to start growing in your faith, in relationships with one another. Because if you don't come to a small group, then it's just a small GROP. So what's a GROP? It's really simple. A GROP is this. A GROP is when you take the you out of group, and it becomes a GROP. That just shows us this, that we're simply not a small group without you. And if you have your Bibles, will you do me a favor? Turn to the book of Ecclesiastes. We're going to be in chapter 4. We're going to go to verse 9, and we're going to go through verse 12. If you don't have your Bible, no worries. You should have an outline with you to follow along. If you don't have an outline, but you have your cell phone, go to your YouVersion app, go to events, and you'll see Area 316 GROP on there. Click on there. You can follow along on there. I think it's an awesome thing to have. But if you don't have a Bible, you want your own Bible, just see me after service, and we'll love to give you your own Bible. So we find King Solomon, he's telling us why it's important for us to connect. Why were we created to connect? And we read in Ecclesiastes 4, 9 through 12, and it says this: 2 people are better off than one, for they can help each other succeed. If one person falls, the other can reach out and help. But someone who falls alone is in real trouble. Likewise, 2 people lying close together can keep each other warm. But how can one be warm alone? A person standing alone can be attacked and defeated, but 2 can stand back to back and conquer. They're even better, for a triple braided cord is not easily broken. See, the thing is, we're stronger together than we are apart. And the thing is that when we're with other people and we're connected, we're able to be us. We're able to be you. And it leads us to our first point for us today is this: you can only be you through others. You can only be you through others. I know you're looking at me and looking at that and going, okay, that doesn't really make sense. This is what I mean. So before I joined the Navy, was I a sailor? No. I was just Juan. I was just an individual. It wasn't until I finished boot camp with other people was I able to become a sailor. Same thing with small groups. It's the same thing with small groups. You grow in your faith. You grow in relationships. You grow in your relationship with Jesus Christ. The truth is, you cannot do being a Christ follower by yourself. You need a small group to be in. You need to be with others who have struggled the same struggles you're going through, who have been through the same problems you're going through, who have been there, have been through life, who have been to the other side and gone through it, where you can grow in your faith, where you have other people coming alongside so you can grow. And so it begs for us to think and for us to know this, that it's not about me, it's about we. It's not about me, it's about we. You see, when it's just you, and when you stand there and you say, well, you know what, I don't need anybody else, I can do this by myself, I'm strong enough by myself to do this, and when you fail, what happens? Who's there to pick you up? Who's there to encourage you? You know, when we get on Team Jesus, we get all excited, right? Woo! And I talk about it at the end of the service all the time. We get on Team Jesus, and we're like, yes, Team Jesus, I can do this. But I'm just going to do this by myself. I don't need anybody else. Then life happens. Who's there to bring you through that? To pick you up, to dust you off, to say it's okay. You see, when we figure out it's not about me, it's about the we, and we get connected with one another, then makes us this, and it brings us to our second point, and it's this: you are only as strong as those around you. You are only as strong as those around you. Proverbs 27:17 says this: as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. As iron sharpens iron, so does one person sharpen another. You see, you need iron to sharpen the iron, correct? I mean, because if you do it with a cloth and you're like, ooh, I'm going to stab you after I sharpen this iron with a cloth, right? You're like, yeah, bring it, right? But if you sharpen iron with iron, it becomes very sharp. And in your life, if you want to grow in your faith, if you want to grow in your relationship with Jesus Christ, you need someone there to help you, to sharpen you. You see, I cannot become sharp without you guys. I cannot become accountable without you guys. I need you guys to keep me sharp, as you guys need me. You see, in a small group, it's the same thing. You come around each other. And there may be people on their walk a little bit ahead of you. There may be people behind you, but there's people around you to help and sharpen you. And once we realize that it's not about the me, it's all about the we, then we know this, that we is greater than the me. The we is greater than the me. Ecclesiastes 4:12, we just read it, says this. A person standing alone can be attacked and defeated. If you're by yourself, you got 3 or 4 guys coming at you, you're going down pretty much, right? You can put up a good fight, but you're going down. And it goes on and says, but 2 can stand back to back and conquer. You've heard, I got your back. I got your 6. I'm there with you. You know you're going to be a little bit more confident knowing you have someone come alongside you in every battle that you go through, every storm that you go through. You know you can make it because you have people around you. It's no longer you by yourself. It's other people encouraging you, helping you be you. You're able to shine better because people are around you. You're connected with one another. That makes you stronger. Where 2 people are back to back can conquer. It gets even better. You add more people, right? You're not easily broken when you have others around you. You see, when you start coming together as a small group and you get connected and you become more of you become more stronger. Other people around you that are not in a small group start seeing that. And they start wondering, well, what are you doing different than I'm not? I know Jesus, but they keep Jesus by themselves in the home. You get outside the home, you connect with others, you grow to become in a more fruitful relationship with who God is. And you become stronger in your faith. And when other people start seeing that and they recognize that, you're able to tell them, listen, I get connected with others who've been through life. I've been there, done that. I'm tired of being alone, so I get connected in a small group. And I've become who God has made me to be. And I become stronger with these others around me who are helping me grow in my faith. And you see, these people are starting to wonder and see, because, we talked about this last week. People hear about Jesus. They see about Jesus. They see it on Facebook, Instagram. They see you posting scriptures. They see you saying, oh, I love life because Jesus is doing great. Great. But now that you're connected, now that you're growing with others, now that you're becoming stronger with Jesus, guess what they are seeing? They're seeing this. And it brings us to our last point. It's this. A small group is the most effective method to be Christ to others. A small group is the most effective method to be Christ to others. They see Christ in you. Others who don't know who Jesus Christ is, who have heard of Jesus, actually see Jesus in you. The book of Acts tells us this. Acts 2:42 to 47. Now, if you got a pen, you got a highlighter, and you have your Bible, I want you to circle these words I'll go over. So the first word we're going to circle is they. They devoted themselves, circled themselves, to the apostles' teaching and to the fellowship, to the breaking of bread and to prayer. Circle the word everyone. Everyone was filled with awe at the many wonders and signs performed by the apostles. Next word to circle is awe. All the believers were together. Circle the word together. And had everything in common. They, circle that word, sold property and possessions to give to anyone who had need. Every day, they, circle the word they, continue to meet together. Circle the word together. In the temple's courts. They, circle that word, broke bread in their homes and ate together. Circle that word. With glad and sincere hearts, praising God and enjoying the favor of, circle the word, all the people. And the Lord added to, circle the word there, numbers daily, those who are being saved. I love this because we got to remember this, and I love during the road trip series, Nick said something very profound, and it stuck with me, and I hear it all the time. And he said this: don't just talk about your faith, but live your faith as an example. Don't just talk about your faith, but live your faith as an example. What better way to live your faith as an example than joining a small group, than being a part of people's lives? See, here's the thing. When you join the small group, life wasn't meant to live in these rows every Sunday. Life was meant to live in a circle, continuously with each other. And I love what Andy Stanley says about small groups and what they can do. And he says this. He says, I believe that being in a community group, which is a small group, that is committed to meet for a year or to 18 months and dividing, I am convinced that groups give me more potential to impact more people directly and indirectly than anything else we can do. Now, I read that and I think, boom, that's exactly our vision and mission for 2018 here at Area 316, which is to go and make disciples out of no perfect people. To meet in a small group and invite people to your small groups. It doesn't matter what church they go to. It doesn't matter even if they don't go to church. Invite people to join your small group. Introduce them to who Jesus Christ is. Let people know it doesn't matter about denomination. What matters is our relationship with Jesus Christ. We are one church for one body, for one God. And when that small group grows, you divide and multiply to create more disciples. So are you guys ready? Are you guys ready to be more than a me? Are you ready to let go of the me and to become part of something bigger than yourselves, to become the we? Okay, so if you're ready, you guys ready? Here we go. This is all you have to do. There's sign-up sheets out in the lobby. Join a small group. And I love it because there's a small group every day of the week, pretty much. It's important for you to connect because these are some awesome groups. We have women's groups. We have a couples groups. Man, we have some groups that are open where anybody can join. That's the challenge. Don't sit there in your chair anymore. Don't let it be about a me thing anymore. Make it about a we thing. And don't forget, Wednesday night. What day? Wednesday. Feed the Spirit. Feed the Spirit. I mean, it's a great time. And I love it because, we just usually did Wednesday nights, but a lot of things go on during the week, and a lot of people can't make Wednesday nights. But now we have groups during the week where you can find your group and get plugged in, get connected with one another. But Wednesdays, I love it because that's a family thing. And we can come together as a family. So don't miss your chance. Sign up for a group today. We have youth group coming back too. So don't miss out on youth. Our youth are going to be covered. Every aspect will be covered. All it takes is you to take that bold step, because remember, you were created to connect. And when you connect with one another, and you start growing in your relationship with Jesus Christ, grace, mercy, especially the love of Christ, can be seen because you have become you. You have become stronger because of the people around you. And you are not only talking about your faith, but you start living your faith. It no longer becomes a me thing. It becomes something bigger than yourself. It becomes a we thing. Because remember, without you, it's just a GROP. You change the whole dynamics of a small group. Let's pray.